Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Motor City Mad Mouse Show here in Norway. And yes, I am back at it again, and I am pleased to be joined by
Moritz, hello.
Hello, Morris, to the big show. For those of you that know, this will be broadcast on the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel. So take a note of that, South Florida Tribune YouTube channel. If you haven't gone ahead and subscribed, please look us up, hit the red subscribe button, go from there. Well, we have a good 14, 15 minutes, so let's get to it. And let's talk about the initial part of the tour and give us an overview of Bergen.
Yeah, so we are right now standing on the side of the fjord here and on the outside of Bergen. And Bergen is the second biggest city in Norway with a population of about 300,000 people. And if you ask me, it's definitely the most beautiful city in Norway. We sadly lost the title of the capital to another less important city called Oslo, but this is not important in this interview, hopefully. And yeah, so we have around 5 million inhabitants in Norway. So as the second biggest city with 300,000 people living there, it's not really big, but it's a metropolitan area, and we have a lot of nature still around. And yes, right now here we will have a quick stop and waiting for the ferry to take us back into the city where we started our tour today.
Okay.
And the tour start was really beautiful, I think. So we had the chance to see the UNESCO World Heritage Site called Bruggen. And Bruggen is the place where the Hanseatic League used to trade. And it was a group of tradesmen in the medieval times that are responsible for trading all over Europe. So they started in northern Germany and expanded to Italy, to London, to also to Bergen, where they had their trading outpost. And if you go online and Google Bergen, you will most definitely see the beautiful site of these crooked wooden buildings. And it is the beautiful site where a lot of history was. So for over 400 years, the Hanseatics used to live in these buildings since the 14th century. And it is the only still remaining structure from the Hanseatic League, which was super important for their monopoly on trade in the medieval times. So the rest of Europe, every city, sadly, the buildings got destroyed. So these wooden structures are the only ones still intact. And yes, what did you like about the tour so far?
Oh, what I've enjoyed about it is number one, the bricks and everything going up there. So luckily I came prepared with a knee brace because I anticipated that I'd get a little bit of wear and tear on this 62-and-a-half-year-old body, but I've enjoyed every painful, absorbent moment of it. You know, the slanted buildings really intrigue me. You talk about some of these buildings going back to 1702. So when you talk about history, how do you spell history? 1702, and if you're playing the lottery and you pick 1702, I don't want to know about it, but if you win, more power to you. 1702, people. Starfish, you say fishing is really big out in these parts. Elaborate.
Yeah, so fishing, of course. When you are living here as a rural fisherman out here, so this is the best example. People used to live here, and over there we have a rowing house, and just over there they used to have their boats, and they go out and to go fishing. And in general, this is the most common kind of food. In earlier times, the food diet was pretty much 7 days fish, no other way around it. And here we have a lot of, in Norway, we have a lot of cold waters and the really nutrient-rich waters as well. So we have a really rich marine life and sea life around here. And with that, it is very easily possible to catch beautiful big fish So also today it is a lot of people come here for just for fishing. So they come with their big marine rods and try to get the biggest catch of their life. And it's very well possible when you have these big streams. So the tidal forces around here are very heavy sometimes. When you get into the fjords, it could be up to 10-15 miles per hour stream force of the water taking you through. And yeah, with that comes really big fish that are getting pulled through the stream. And so you can catch some beautiful salmon, for example.
The Netherlands is known for biking. What is Bergen, or let alone Norway in
Yes.
general, known for?
Yes, just Norwegians love being outside. So it is part of the central part of their culture is being outside and enjoying nature as much as possible.
Okay.
So they are very sporty, and they love to go out and go on a hike, for example. So in summertime, the national sport is hiking.
Okay.
And doing multi-day trips. So you go from hut to hut along the way, and of course in wintertime we have snow. So what do? Well, you enjoy nature still and go skiing. And skiing is in fact ski is a Norwegian word that got exported into the whole world.
Okay.
And yes, so there's also a region called Telemark in Norway, and maybe you've heard about it. So Telemark is also a version of skiing where your foot is loose and only the toe of your foot is connected to the ski, and therefore it is pretty cool to see it, but it's almost impossible to learn. So I ski for my whole life. I tried it. I failed miserably. I think you have to be born here with your skis on your feet to be able to do it. And yeah, but with that, it's beautiful. Yeah.
So let's talk about sports in general. The Olympics and a lot of international competition. Would you say that Norway has a particular strength in either the summer or the winter Olympics, or what sports?
Yeah, so they have strength in everything. So, but particularly the Winter Olympics are very big here. So
Okay.
the World Cup was just was here this year in Trondheim, and the Winter Olympics. And when you look at the gold medals got won, so Norway is always number one when it comes to the gold medals per population. So they have a lot of professional. So they almost made sports to a science. So with that I mean they have a lot of laboratories around here, and it's also very easily possible, accessible for people like you and me, to just go there to the laboratory and check, I don't know, your blood function or how much oxygen your body can use, stuff like that. And it's also worldwide very high up and very in the forefront when it comes to physiotherapy. So they are very professional when it comes to sport. And yeah, also summer, of course, there is Christian Ingebrigtsen. He is a long distance runner who breaks world records regularly. And yeah, so it's a lot of things happening. Yeah.
Okay, so name the biggest iconic sports figures that have come out of Norway.
Whoa, that's oh. So Christian Ingebrigtsen, for example, today, and also there is Harland. Harland is a very important Norwegian for football,
Okay.
so or soccer, and he's a good soccer player right now. Yeah, but other than that, I don't have any things just coming up in my mind right now. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't matter. You already listened to. So when you talk about Norway in general, we talk about 300,000 here, and then of course you have Oslo. From a media market standpoint, is Norway regarded as a good size media market in the European area? Because I saw a building I don't remember what it was, but it was a black building on initially in the tour. But is Norway or Norwegian or whatever a prominent media market here in Europe?
So it's a pretty small market,
Okay.
and so they have they have everything nationalized. So there's something called NRK, that's a Norwegian broadcasting media.
Okay.
So it's using it is TV series, radio, podcasts, pretty much everything about media is by the Norwegian state, and so funded by the Norwegian state, and yeah, so that's also possible to have like really small local media outlets in that sense. So also Norwegian itself is a really peculiar language, and Norwegian has a lot of dialects along the way. So that means when you start, for example, in Bergen, they speak their own dialect, and it is hard to understand for other people outside of the region. And therefore, it is pretty often that there is like local broadcasting stations, even though there's not many people living there. So yeah. And the international media, so if you talk about movies, for example,
Right.
the movies are mostly not translated, so they are just dubbed with Norwegian phrases underneath, and then it's in English. So Norwegians are also super good at languages, so almost everybody has to learn from the first grade on, they learn English here. So even when they start and they're 8 years old, they learn English. And so yeah.
So let's talk about the programming. Do you guys watch a lot of American programming?
You mean TV?
Yeah, TV shows, movies, and so forth.
So movies, of course. So yeah, there's the Hollywood industry, and we have a lot of movies from there. Yeah, that's also still a thing. And I mean, the movie industry is big, but also there's some local produced TV shows, and also from Finland. Finland is very well known for having a good media outlet, and beautiful films being produced by Aki Kaurismäki. And yeah, so he has been making movies, and there's also some Norwegian locally produced movies out there.
So how do Norwegians perceive Americans in general?
So Norwegians, oftentimes Americans have an origin in Norway. So what happened in the 17th and 18th century is that a lot of people left Norway. In fact, over 1 million people took the voyage from Norway to America to start a new life there. And therefore, I would say Norwegians perceive Americans as Americans perceive Norwegians, I guess.
Right.
So
Like allies, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I would say so. Yeah.
All right, so when we talk about your tour, it's broken down into two parts. You have the city, the bus, and of course we did the forest. Tell everybody when they sign up for one of your tours what they can expect to get. I've enjoyed the city because not only did we see some nice buildings from the onset, and then I'm walking up these hills looking at all these wooden structures that have lasted a while, and how you do a great job preserving them and then continuing to build on with tradition. And then as we get deeper into this thing, it's hard not to know this is the fishing industry. Then you go into the forest. How am I doing so far with what I've already digested? And of course, we're going to cap it off later with a boat tour.
Yes. So this tour today is very special. So we start exploring the city, then going out to the countryside, and later on we will take the boat back to the city through very narrow channels. And I really love this tour, for you will have a lot of variation. So you can see in a couple hours you can see a lot of beautiful nature, and what makes Norway beautiful, in my opinion. And when you go on a tour here, you will learn a lot about the culture, as well as how it is to live here. And as most of our guides are living here, and we really love Norway and Bergen, for example, as well. So we try to make our guests understand why them, like why I love Norway. For example, for me personally, it is the fact that it's so much wildlife and nature around here. And if you're standing on top of a mountain around here, you will just see forest, wilderness, maybe like a single house somewhere, but that's it. And I come from Germany, and in Germany it's very different. So we have power lines, fields, houses, cities everywhere. And here it feels mostly like still wilderness in that sense. And depending on what you want to do here, I mean, we have a lot of different tours as well. So we do city tours around, we do hikes on top of the local mountains around here, and also, of course, longer tours. So if you want to explore the Hardanger Fjord, for example, which we are still pretty far away from, so we would take another hour by bus to get there, and it's one of the most beautiful areas of Norway as well.
Did you say that this area gets about 256 days of rain per year, and that today we just happen to get lucky where it's a beautiful day?
Yes. So we get over 260 days of rain around here, and it doesn't mean that it will not rain today. So even though we have sunshine right now, probably it will rain in the afternoon. And we're just very lucky right now with the weather. And I hope it stays for that, for our beautiful tour, of course. But yeah, so this is also the rainiest city in Europe. So Norwegians, Bergensers are very well adapted to that as well. As it is super normal to go out in this weather anyways, to do sports, to go running, for example. Even though it's pouring rain, it's crazy rain, people go out and go for a run, for example.
All right, two last questions before we wrap this bad boy up. How long have you been doing this? I can tell by the knowledge and the enthusiasm that you really enjoy doing this.
Yes, I really love it, and I just started this season. So
really?
Yeah. So I started in April, around about. But I've been traveling across Norway for some time already. So I know a lot of Norway, and I hope to present it to everybody in the best sense.
Are there any closing thoughts or things that people should be aware of about this tour and the country in general that we haven't really talked about so far?
Bring an umbrella when you come, I guess. Okay. And we have way too much water here.
Okay.
So that would be my conclusion, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you very much for joining us on the South Florida Tribune Media Network. For those of you that are looking at this video, please hit the red subscribe button, and then you'll be able to see all of our international videos from where we stop. We want to thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the Motor City Mad Mouse Show. You've certainly enlightened a lot of people when they come to Norway. Hopefully they'll have an opportunity to choose this tour, but it's been a really great experience talking to you, and I've learned so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing the last part of this tour on water. Thank you so much for joining us on the South Florida Tribune Media Network. And one last skiing story. Back on Christmas Day in 1989, I suffered a torn ligaments in my ankle on the last run of the day, the same day that legendary New York Yankees manager Billy Martin died. Every time I want to know when I tore it, I go back to Billy Martin, New York Yankees. So I understand your skiing experience, and I thought that I'd put that out here on the network. So thank you everybody for joining us here, the South Florida Tribune Media Network. We look forward to the next video. Thank you very much for joining us, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.